Hello there. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here again with the continuation of the December Showdown, the little tournament those boys are throwing on the Discord. And if you want to get involved with those things, you'll find the Discord invite link down below for our GBG community. And getting into it, we've got Soupjuice here, who's going to be taking on Grenooli. Soupjuice is playing the green resistance, and he almost completely blends into the minimap here at the bottom right. Whereas Grenooli and the grey are going to be playing the Confederacy here. And the map's 4 lakes, so there are 4 lakes, and they're full of fish. It's a pretty good map for doing some early fishing shenanigans. They've got some nerfs as well that they can put into the nursery. There's these shacks, which have got 340 food. Pretty nice. They can be lured to the command centre with a scout if you so please. And some of the caddies are very nice for here for Soupjuice. They're just going to walk straight into his command centre, and he does recognise that and shoots it and collects that free food there. 100 food just for free. There's also a Famba that could be scout lured as well, so there's plenty of food on this map, which means you can sort of save your carbon early and then you can decide to invest it into fishing maybe. Or you can go for a Mountie Rush, which would be quite strong against a player that puts their investment into a shipyard early. And you could as well sort of do both, combine them. Maybe do the Mountie first and then add the shipyard after. And if you're really bold, you can try and do it the other way around. But we'll see what these players decide to do. There's even the full umps that can be lured as well, 2 full umps, so really a nice food map here. In terms of the walling, it seems to be hit or miss sometimes for some people. It's fairly open, I would say. There are like some okay-ish opportunities to wall here for Soup, but not in the case of Grenooli, because the base is even more open, so it would encourage that sort of rushing behaviour. I think anyone that manages to get their rush build order down well and, you know, fishes alongside it is going to be a big advantage on this kind of map. See the carbon being put down here. I wonder if both players will maybe try and just go for the Mounties. It's generally very safe to go for Mounties usually, especially when you're afraid of it happening to you. There would be opportunities though for someone to just play really standard with all this food and try and just go for T2 quickly, get some early troopers out and, you know, get some pressure, but they would have to do a lot of damage, I think, to make sure they don't fall behind the fishing player. And not really much else to say as we wait for T1 to get a move on. Might speed it up just a little bit, just to power on through. Another Cadu walking close here for Soup, and he's finished that one off. He's got 12 nerfs, so I want to put 10 in the nursery. He's making a good decision there. Less than 4, probably don't want to build another nursery, and especially here when you can put that carbon into the early shipyard. He does get the trawler started without the power core. You can see it is ticking away there, but definitely going to want the power core to pump those out a lot quicker. Grenooli on the other hand, I'm not really seeing much of a tattle. There we go, troops aren't going to be dropped. We're just wondering with all those workers on carbon what he's planning to do. And he's going to get this troop centre here. Still freaks me out, it makes me feel like this is Trade Federation on all techs. Since the Confederacy, when they got split from the Geonosians, they got given the old Trade Federation worker droid. So in my mind this just looks like all techs every time when I see a prefab like that. And that worker together. All these shacks available here for Grenooli, but I'm not really keen on it. Definitely found his opponent, and maybe it would be good for him to try and lure these with a scout. I mean, they are a lot of food, 340. And power core going down here. So power core for best player, both players. Soup's not really thinking about being mounted, it would seem, because he's not really playing to protect his power core. Let's see his vision. He hasn't even found his opponent's carbon, so he's completely blind as to what's going on here. And what you could do is just like build your houses around your prefab or your power core and protect it that way. So he's thinking about doing some outer walls here to provide a bit of scouting, but I'm pretty worried about what's going to happen when a Mountie hits him. Oh, Grenooli's not doing that, is he? Oh, he's going for the normal rush, okay. The Soup's going to get away with a murder here. He's going to get to have the boats, fishing, and the double troop centre. He is behind in the tech though. Or is he? Oh, they're neck and neck. Oh, Soup's at a huge advantage there. I feel like Grenooli really should have gotten one or two mounties out first here. If he'd scouted the shipyard. He's going to have a little bit of a problem here with his food. He's going to need to build some farms very soon. And it's going to feel a little bit bad not taking advantage of the lakes here on this map. He does have a lot of troopers out. So he's been working on getting them all together, going T2 and then upgrading them as they walk across. What's Soup's plans? He never actually built these houses. It's just 50 carbon being wasted on the foundations. Now, with the defender's advantage, it does look like Soup's going to have enough, and he shouldn't need to rush out too quickly to find his opponent here. He could wait for a couple of more troops and win by a more decisive victory. I kind of think he's going to lose this here, because he's already on patrol. It's working out pretty even. I think that probably should have went a bit better for the defender though. But the reinforcements come out, he does have enough to defend. Grenooli is keeping the pressure on though, rallying all of his troopers here. Trying to keep Soup into his base. Which would be good for him because he doesn't need to worry about counterattacks too much and he's just getting his farms down. There's going to be farms versus fish here, but there's a lot of trawlers now, so each one of those basically represents an extra worker that Soupjuice has against Grenooli here. But he's not paying attention to his troopers, and this is going to put him under a lot more pressure than he need be. He's not built any turrets either, which he really should have just done, of being on the defensive here. And now he's just going to let Grenooli walk into his carbon line. He gets 2 workers, so maybe needs to kill about 7 or 8 workers to even things out, I would say. Bit of a miss micro here from Grenooli. He didn't really quite pay too much attention to what he was doing there. He's gotten 3 workers, but he got a couple of these really low, didn't get the kills on them, and then he walked back and forth. And really, it should have just been a stutter step into the line here and just keep shooting. Just 1 tap each one. And by the time those troopers had killed him, he probably would have got about 7 or so. With his troopers lost, he's still rallying across the map, which could leave him open to this counter-attack that's going to come from Soup, because it's not a lot of troopers, and there's already enough at home to defend here, and I think that difference in economy is really starting to show in this game here. Soup again, though, he's sending all his troopers out, and he just doesn't seem too keen on building turrets. And neither is Grenooli, which I really wish they would just build turrets. Because you can see from the behaviour that both seem to know that they never build turrets and they just try to dive into each other's carbon line. There's desperate turrets now from Grenooli, but obviously this isn't walled because it's on a hill and the hill things never wall properly. So Soup's going to get in here with a lot of troopers and get a lot of worker kills. He can even deny the second turret coming up, which means he can stand under the first one. Grenooli at the same time is sneaking into his carbon line, but he doesn't have a single turret here, and it looks like he actually sent his defensive force out across the map now as well. Which means Grenooli's going to get a lot of kills here. But he's going to need a heck of a lot of kills to match the amount that Soup's just gotten. And we have to remember that when all's said and done here, Soup's still got the utility trawlers building as well, so the extra worker production. Grenooli not really micro-into. He needs to make sure he doesn't like lose this trade so easily. These guys not paying too much attention and getting killed by these troopers. Not going to lose another one, are you? Close. So a lot of workers going down for both players. We'll have a quick look at the counts. 34 for Soup and 29 here for Grenooli, but what we have to remember is Soup can make 2 workers at a time basically. So, oh, and there's still troops out here on the field. That force that was sent, you know, that was meant to kind of be defending for Soup has arrived here at the farms, and to be honest, Grenooli's not really got much of a standing army right now. And he's losing his workers on the farms here. Look at the Soup now, he kind of looks like he can get himself off to T3. He's got his buildings down here, he's got a spaceport, so he can sell all that food that he's got. Get that Nova that he needs to tech up. And Grenooli trying to do the same thing, but he's still losing workers, and we have to remember he was already the 4 down. Soup makes 2 times the amount of workers he can. It's really ramping. And he's not actually closed this out. So if it gets over here, it's going to be kind of a disaster. So we're really could do if that was the case. Well, they are taking a trade. A lot more troopers. Grenooli's just not as near to T3 though. And these troops have gotten way too much value. And Soup's already halfway. Grenooli's not going to be very well equipped to, you know, be in this sort of like his farms and his carbon's very disconnected, the walls sort of split around it. When you start getting like really mobile units like fighters and strike mechs here, it's just really, it's going to tear him apart quite easily. And he's going to have to cut some corners, and there's even troopers here from Soupjuice. Soupjuice played a pretty strong game this one. All that extra income from the boats. I think Grenooli's probably getting a big lesson here to actually properly play the map. To fish on this one. So kind of forgot about these troops. Could be causing mayhem and slowing Grenooli's T3 even further. Really trying to get in here with what troopers he has left. Does knock Soup off of the Nova here. He's trying to get that double air base going. But he's got so much food that he could, you know, he could populate these air bases with just the spaceport use. And troopers are going to kill a couple of workers here. Being a lot more attentive than he was earlier. Gonna get about 5 of them or so. Oh, I got the 6th. No. Very close. But he's going to have double fighter production coming his way. He is getting ahead of the curve here by building some anti-air troopers very quickly. Which is going to help, but he's going to have 2 locations, and he sort of walled himself between both locations as well, so defending this with just anti-air troopers is going to be very difficult. And Grenooli's not even on the way to T3. And he's not really needed to maybe sell things and just get off to T3 first. I think he could maybe be about halfway to T3 right now if he just cut some corners while all this was going on, because he was very close before and then started building the anti-air troopers. And the fighter's going to come in here, going to see all the anti-air troopers and just try and get away from them, find a spot where they aren't, and he gets some good scouting with these troopers that were sitting here as well, so they can see things ahead of time for the fighters. That's going to really help them pick things apart. And these 2 anti-air troopers are out on their own. 6v2, definitely going to lose that with no casualties. Grenooli kind of forced to just garrison all his workers in his command center here, all his farmers. We'll wall this bit out, and this is now his base, basically. At least until he can get to T3 and get some anti-air turrets or something. So maybe scouting to see if he had any shipyards or anything like that, but nope. He's let up the pressure off of Grenooli here though. He could have just kept the fighters over here. Grenooli is going to get T3. Back at home, 2nd command centre. Things looking quite good here for Soup. You know, he's now got that triple worker production compared to Grenooli's 1 times worker production. And we're putting the pressure on as well. He's going to delay his ability to get like a 2nd command centre down. Does fly straight into these anti-air troopers though. He's trying to take a trade with them, but not really going the best here. Honestly, they kind of overperformed though. I guess Grenooli needed to do a bit of micro, I would say. Just a little bit of starter stabbing. You can always garrison in the turrets if it all goes all wrong for your anti-air troopers. A couple of Mounties getting added in here, that's interesting. I'm going to try and go for the power core. Got the fighters to give vision ahead. Hope he's not falling for the idea that this is walled though, because he's already walked through it earlier. And these troopers could really be doing something as well. There was a strike mech sent his way, but the bombers that he's built here have just killed it here at the shipyard. Things looking a bit grim for Grenooli here. He's trying to desperately get this anti-air turret up at the command centre. He's going to get it. Sort of snuck that past. The troopers could just be sitting here though and kill all these farms. And Mike's going to be chasing the strike mech that he's built through the turrets and even more idle workers and stuff. Just guaranteeing that Soup stays way ahead of his opponent here. He's got a lot on Nova as well, and I think maybe walnut food and all that Nova, he could go off to T4 if he wanted. No, the food's kind of dried up a bit. Have a bit. This is interesting behaviour. I take it these are all idle, yeah. Almost thought they were waiting patiently to just all share the same aqua harvester, and I thought, is that some new weird feature they've added, but a lot of these are just idle. Doesn't quite have the Nova for it. I don't think it'd be too bad for him right now to just buy a bit of carbon and just, you know, mass build all these and get his food production back, because he's not built any farms or anything like that. Suit this game as well. Probably could have went into the second league, having such map control. He's got his forces outside here of Grenooli's base, and Grenooli's still not got any second command centre down yet, which he desperately needs. And we're on to the third command centre here for Soup, so it looks like he's built all of that. He seems to build them so far away though, a bit inefficient building them all the way over here, when you can control exactly where it is. In case you don't understand that you want them close to the shipyard, so that, you know, the time between the points is a lot less. The strike mech's getting in here being annoying, but I mean it's just nothing for Soup really. Like whatever workers they kill, you rebuild and still be ahead massively of Grenooli right now. Grenooli just desperately needs like 3 command centres and just constant worker production while trying to get some good value defensive units out in the field. And it's going to hurt even more. Still on 1 CC, he's trying to build a second one and just loses 4 workers just like that. He's got some air, trying to defend against the air, which is definitely going to help. It's an okayish trade there, but a lot of workers are going down at the same time. And that was just on 1 air base as well, so it's going to take a while before he's got a handful of air as well to help. Strike mech is kind of good here from Soupjuice. Maybe force a mech destroyer out of Grenooli when you really can't afford having a mech destroyer. And he's just getting further and further ahead. All these command centres. He's even got a lot of air in his base he's not using. Some sneaky ore here for Grenooli. Be the last of those troopers killed off by the fighters. More air raids though. Soup just goes to the last known location of the Air Force of Grenooli and guns it down, and that secret ore is no more. The fighter's going to kill off all those workers, and yeah, I kind of think Grenooli's just stuck here. So he's playing very well and not giving him any moment to really get back into this game. Heavy weapons factory now being forwarded. Just going to add even more pressure. I don't know where these 2 workers are. Stop building it to go and run off somewhere. Just accidentally clicked on some carbon somewhere. I'm confused. He's like clicked on the carbon here while he was microing his air. Because look. No, he's actually. What is he doing with these fissures? Carbon now? I don't even know where he's gone. There he is. He's dipping and diving. He's done the most dangerous dare of his life. Run at the enemy base and run out. He lives. What's up? Luring him into the mech destroyers here. Grenooli can't afford losing that. That's bad. Third command center now for Grenooli, but Fortress coming down here. Should have been big brain and build it next to his heavy weapons factory, because the fortresses for resistance provide power and a little bit of a reduced radius. At least I think they do, don't they? Why can't I see the radius? Did they remove it? No, there we go. You have to select the. For some reason I can't. You can do it in the game when you're playing the character, but not in the replay mode, it seems. But if you select the power core, it shows you. So there's the radius. Second fortress. You're going to have to call GG here. And very well played from Soup there, taking game 1 there. So we're going to the second game now. So they played 3 games, and it's pretty much just a. You play 3 games, and that's your result. It's a round robin here in the tournament thing, rather than like a best of 3. Yeah, nice looking map with a lot of nerfs on it, I would say. A couple of flumps as well, some really healthy tree lines. Some comfy looking tree lines. So Grenooli's got Rebel Alliance here, changed his colour to teal. And Soupjuice still green here, but he's got the mighty Imperial Remnant, so pretty good civs for both players. What is this pond though? This is what we call the unethical pond. A lot of shore fish there, so Grenooli should definitely be taking advantage of this gift from the gods here. There's even a medium fish. This is like RVA's pond. Look at this. Absolutely unethical. So you get berries here on this map, you get your nursery. You're gonna get your nursery first to put these in, and you're gonna lure your lumps. But I think instead of going for the food processor here that you would do on the berries, you go straight over here to God's gift. The mighty pond. Basic training getting researched here for Soupjuice. An interesting one. At least 9 out of 15. Maybe just didn't have the food there, didn't want a food drop. Just getting it out of the way. Pretty nice pond over here though, if he scouts that out. That's worth the trip. Even have some secret nova afterwards for dessert. A few nerfs at large here though for Soup. Needs to go out and grab those. Pretty nice defensive line of wood here. Like one prefab closes that, and then you go like prefab, couple of light walls, and light wall. Maybe not even bother going for the crossings. This is not actually a crossing, but it looks like one. But there are 2 crossings. Like, a bit like a mounty map. Having the mobility to make it across these crossings, and Soup's still not found those extra nerfs though. Have a look at Grenooli's count. 10. So that's what he should be about roughly. So is he on what, 4? 5. Ah, that's 5 there. Yeah. He is getting into the pond here, so just need to see a food processor as well, I would hope. Can't quite find. He went for his carbon. A lot on carbon as well. Eight on carbon. Like 7 on food. Oh, that's 8 as well. 8. The 8-8. The 8-8 T1 split. And ton of carbon here for Soup. This carbon looking at 120 or so. Struggling on the food though. Usually go take the berries. As I said, this pond would be great, but it's just not as unethical in terms of distance as this one. See, these guys are viciously fishing up these fish. You can reach this, right? I'm sure you can reach that. Oof. Soup did find his nerfs, but they've been intercepted on the way here. Is Grenooli going to steal them? Is this that kind of game? The BM? Or is he just going to leave them there? Look at the fish again here for Soup. Really taking advantage of maybe Grenooli not punishing him for it. This one's going to be a little bit out in the open. Let me quickly get those guys into the nursery. So he's up to 10 now, but you know he's going to be quite far behind. We'll have a quick look at the old... Oof, that's a lot of food, isn't it? 500. 500 food behind. Now, some of that is the nursery, but I think a lot of that is actually the speed that these workers go for these tiny fish with their fishing rods, these R2-D2s, fishing extraordinaires. Because they've already polished off 2 or 3 of them, and yeah, they are on that medium fish as well. Look at them go. All the food. So it's going to create an interesting dynamic here. So there's the Mountie on the way here for Grenooli, and I think, yeah, he's definitely on his way to T2 as well, because let's face it, he had so much food. So you can put some Mountie pressure on here. Soup could kind of weather the storm if he does actually wall his power core. If he doesn't, he's maybe snookered here, because he's got to get these farms down as well. I think like the Giga play here would be like a food processor over here and a shipyard down here. That would be top notch with like a defensive troop center for Soup here. But we are going to see that difference between that super fast sort of T2, all that unethical food, and the player with the shipyard trying to weather the storm here. So he'll get his troop center out, and he's going to get a couple of trooper recruits, and he's kind of fortunate by the pathing because he did wall this out here with the houses, so that he has to go all the way around this way, and he makes it in now. He's already got 2 recruits out, so I think Soup's going to get away with it. That's what will Grenooli do now. Will they get to T3 sooner than Soup? We'll keep the Mountie pressure going, we'll see. I don't think the Mountie pressure is going to keep going because I don't see any more teal things really moving across the minimap. Except this worker, where's he off to? He's lost. And the trooper recruit's going to kill one of the Mounties here. Cause a bit of a disruption though, he's stopped mining with all these guys. But, you know, he's got the troop centre investment. I suppose they both do, it's not too bad. There's not really fear of a counter attack, I think, for Soupjuice here, but it does have that extra worker production like the last game. And he's slowly going to T2 now, so the map's really worked out in his favour, I think, with how long it takes Grenooli to get there. And yeah, he's got his trooper recruits on patrol. Looks like a fluffy rabbit base at the moment. A lot of food though. At least for Grenooli there. Oof, Soup's got even more. So I think both players can get off to T3. Have a quick look at Grenooli. Not quite got enough for his buildings though. He fished half of this one. But he can't afford his buildings, so I think both players are just going to go straight to T3 here. That rush distance is definitely very off-putting. And why rush when you could just fly across the river, kill your opponent's workers with fires. So Jedi Temple from Grenooli here, which is going to be quite a big brain move here. Spaceport down, so he will have his 2 buildings when the temple's done. And how it could work out is he's got a couple of hollows near him that I think he must know about. So it's a very easy grab for him. You could build, you know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 Padawans. When he gets to T3, you can turn them into knights and send them across, and both players are going to probably favour going for air right now. And air not very good at defending the knight pressure. So that's definitely a good option that Grenooli could go for here. And you know, great way to put himself ahead when they're in T3. Because he could just defend a little bit and then get his own air force out after. And then he's got knights that are just, you know, going to be a very static thing in Soupjuice's base, giving him a lot of scouting vision ahead of things. And then he could use his air a bit smarter and maybe pick off the opposing air from Soup. So we're nearly halfway to T3. Soup just a little bit behind, but he's going to have that stronger eco, right? With those extra workers fishing away. It's maybe negated a little bit with the sort of farming buffs that rebels have, and if he has these holocrons as well, they're maybe going to work out kind of even. It's not a huge amount of fissures that Soupjuice has built this game, and I think he probably could have built a lot more. Another one up here, but it might be get a little bit hard for him to defend when the fighters are out in the field. So we'll see what happens. You know eat this. So both players should beat T3 basically. So we're just hanging out. So I imagine we should see some air bases. 2 already down here for Grenooli, so he's definitely a little bit ahead. A bit slow in his holocron acquisitions though. He's only really built the 1 Padawan, so I don't think he's going to go for that night play, even though it's going to be a great opportunity here. Soup seems a little bit confused. He's T3. He's built 1 anti-air turret. Building a second one, but no air bases. Which means he does have his secret hidden. Oh, I forget that these things are stealthed. Stealthed anti-air destroyers. Maybe he doesn't need 2 of them though. 1 probably enough. So he's kind of defending himself from the air. I don't like it though. Because as I said before, in 1v1 there's basically no lag, so... He never finished this turret. He's going to lose all of these. And he's blocked out of building a second command center. So really he's just going to get a big lead just by having air. So I think you should just build your own air in 1v1. So, big lead there for Grenooli. Should be able to throw down command centers free, and he's got no fear of reprisal, no counterattacks coming his way. So I'm going to build a CC here now. Kind of blocks this area out, so hopefully won't need to run anything this way. This would only really be an issue if he had like strike mech sent his way. Then the mech destroyer is going to get stuck on the wrong side. And I think both players are just going to boom a little bit here, but you know that holocron count is going to be rising here for Grenooli. It's going to be up to 2. There's still more out there on the map, but I don't think he knows about them. Oh, he knows about this one. Still, there's a nice little bit of supplemental Nova income coming his way. So again, his 3rd command center. It'll be a very tranquil, boomy game, but there is that air. Oh, he does see this hollow now as well, so he knows about an extra 2 hollows, really. Be going for those. And he's just going to fly around now, be annoying. It's kind of what you should just do, and this if someone tries to play like this, he never actually finished this turret, it's still sitting there. It's like he forgot, because you can't really see it behind the spaceport. You need prior knowledge to know it's there. Because it just kind of looks like it's... Yeah. I don't even think any part of its foundation shows through, actually. And if it did, with the way it's situated, it'll just look like it's part of these spires at the top of the spaceport. So you're going to lose his boats here, because you can just start around, can't you? Anti-air is a deterrent, not a counter. In a 1v1. Too easy is star step. So Grenooli looks like he's rolling ahead. He's even going to get some destroyers here. So he really wants to knock Soup out of the river. Maybe a clever thing. You know, if this game went later, Imperial Remnant are, you know, mysteriously they're boat civ. So if you knock somebody out of the water, it's harder for them to get, you know, back into it. So all he's done right now is he's killed the fishers, but they're still the anti-air destroyers. But if he sends his destroyers over and kills those, that's going to be quite nice for him. Make sure that he's not got any pressure in the river. So later, if he wants to go for a forward, he's not going to get cruisered or anything like that. And you can see how Soup's forced to play now, where he's just like building turrets to try and defend parts of his base that are exposed, and he's just losing loads of workers, and it's kind of a disaster right here. There's so many workers just died. That's pretty much, I think that's kind of just GG. He's lost his fishers, he's losing all those, and air civ versus non-air civ. You know where this goes when your opponent hits T4. You don't really want to be that far behind against someone that can T4 air you as well. He's got the holocrons. The research center getting slammed down here. T4 is just a spaceport visit away. This game's kind of a big contrast to the first one here from Soup. He played really well, and I think this one he played pretty poorly. Well, he played well up till T3, but just build your own double airbase and defend yourself. It's the biggest lesson that could be learned from this game. And the destroyers have been created, probably a bit too many. In they come. Problem is they don't detect. So these guys are still just hiding from them. Used to send a frigate. Don't know if he's quite realised that. He's trying to lure them with the air, but just build a frigate before it gets attacked. And halfway to T4 now. Soup trying to power through, slam down some command centers. As I said, he's very, very behind. See, these are the points in the games that I hate, where it's just over, you know. I don't have the heart to lie to you guys and try and hype it up like this. Like Soup's gonna make it back in this game. It's over. He's T4. Just upgrade the air. You can't show mercy when they've got Imperial Remnant as well. You gotta go hard. You gotta upgrade the air. Fast fighter. Where's the shields? Can afford the shields. There we go. Shields, armored, even extra air bases. Efficient manufacturing. No mercy. Get rid of the Valkyries on and assemble the Air Force. So many fighters too. It's going to be a massacre of these little protocol droids. Not protocol droids, astro droids. Astromech droids. Down they go. Not even waiting for the shields, and there's the GG. They're going to move on. That one turned out to be a bit of a disaster. So third game, we're back on this map with the Tarrant attacks. And actually Spectral Guardians. Oh. No, the Spectral Guardian could spawn on this one. There's a little bit of a... Oh, these are maybe not the invincible ones, are they? They got 1,000 health. I think if you just kill this tomb though, they die. I believe that's how they work. Oh, and the balls, the mighty balls. Forgot about the balls. Into the nursery they go. So 4 balls, a few Minox to eat, and some of these healthy food stockpiles. Some strong looking buckets there, full of, looks like, either berries or meat or fruit. You decide. Could be anything really. Could be yummy red crystals. And this one, teal Wookiees now for Grenooli, sticking with the teal, but he's got the mighty Wookiees, Wookiees good civ, and the Gungans. Oh, I do like the Gungans, but there's no water on this map, so they're going to feel a little bit worse off. couple of Minocs that could be lured to the command center, but they're kind of tough. They're very do as they please Minocs. Seem like these little short struts. Just wait for me to say short and then go for a long strut. But there you go, some short struts. Tricky one to lure, but it can be done. It's probably better than some of the ones I got handed in EF. There's snails or slugs that go really, really slow. The blue frogs that sort of hop around. Pretty easy walling looking in this one. He's caught onto that. He's straight in there with a prefab sheller. A couple of prefabs here. It could just be a wall and go T3 kind of game. So going straight into the carbon here. That's probably about enough to sustain. 5 markers here on the food. 4 nerfs in the nursery. Should kind of work out. Not yet seen a carbon processor for Grenooli here. He's spending carbon elsewhere, building these walls sort of ahead of time. Maybe a little bit too early. Should probably get his carbon processor going. Can afford it now, I think. It's be interesting to see what this is like. I think they're just both going to go T3 though. It's the best call on a map like this. Mounties could be okay though. It's technically not like a high distance for mounties, you're just going round. It's kind of deceptive actually. But if all these spots do get walled with like prefabs. Oh! Oh wow. What is that range? You can take this one out of the map pool. That's nuts! What's that range? It's 50 range artillery. That's a bad time. He's down 2 workers. What's going on? I guess he's not walking. He did get his wall off. That's nuts though. Well, I hope Zeldrake sees that one. You might want to tone that down or disable these guys from spawning if you can't bring yourselves to nerf them, because that's just nuts. So it doesn't look like it's going to be mounties. Well, no power core mounties as well from Soupjuice here. That's going to feel pretty bad for Grenooli. He does get his wall sort of off though, but they can go through the light wall very quickly. Best case for Grenooli is Soup goes this way into the prefabs. Well, he's never going to get this prefab though. He can maybe try again if he loses a 3rd worker or this Psycho Spectral Guardian. That's the worst thing ever. He's been really safe, is he? He's going to go double prefab. Soup to see he tries to stop this, but nope. Both prefabs are placed. He just needs to run the other way though. And now he's going to run. Maybe he might get popped by the Spectral Guardian. Seems to do a lot of damage. Will it go for him? Is that a little bit the same range? Is it like a facing thing? Is it like a cone of vision? I feel like this is just as close as this is. This is working out really good for Grenooli. Into the prefabs, he can just repair this if he wants. And try and go off to T3. Can't let him in though. It'd be stupid if he lets him in. Just send repair it. Soup here is T2. Really only just on the way to T2. Losing those workers and doing all that walling's really set him back. He's going to be repairing this for the rest of his life. Well, if it's T2, it's going into like a normal rush. No. I haven't really got anything out though, trooper wise. This would probably be a good opportunity to just go for the upgraded mounties, the heavy mounties, and get some war center damage. Blitz down the wall. Certainly a weird game, this one. Spaceport reinforcing this side. Mech factory going down for Grenooli, so you'll just be going for the D3. It will have enough food by the time those are done. Maybe just have to sell a little bit of carbon. When the troopers show up now, you won't be able to repair this anymore. You can re-layer the wall out of range because the troopers just don't have that much range, only 4 range. And it's going to just turn into sort of a fair rush here. It's going to really starts T3. And Soup here is still in T2. He's trying to get his buildings down. He's got 1 down. He's going to get the second, but the food's not looking too healthy. He really does get like double air base here. You know, a turret wouldn't be terrible. Like a turret just here, because keep the Nova safe. And the ore as well. And just stop it having to go through here. Power core coming down. So Grenooli's move here has got to be just like double air base, clean this up, pressure opponent. To be honest, you could even just go pressure opponent first, then come and clean it up later once they've built anti-air troopers. Because I don't think they're getting through here anytime soon. And Soup does get himself off towards T3 now. Not thinking about anti-air though, making more mounties. Grenooli hits T3. Looks like double air base, 1, 2. He's mucked it up though because they moved off this foundation to let these guys build it and they're just sitting here idle. What's he looking at? There's nothing to do. So fighter production begins. Strike mech coming out. Could just shoot this stuff on the wall. That'll work out fine. I want to get that strike mech across though. What would be too bad is just deleting this prefab. I'm just going. You could go straight down the middle, and then you could build a gate later. That'd be pretty good. T3 for Soup. He will be behind in the old fighter production. And see if he's learned from the last game and he's going to build his own air bases. I know Gungans are not really an air civ, but you know, I do think it's the smart thing to do. What's he used his ore on? Well, he used it to tack up, I think. Oh. I'm assuming that's what he's done. There's no turrets. He's got Mech Destroyer, he's got some anti-air troopers. Ah, this just looks like a mirror of the last time. Where it's going to be double air base versus 0 air base. And this time he's not even going to have a turret. He's only got 4 anti-air troopers. But a second Mech Destroyer? That's a little bit misguided. And your opponent's walled like that. I mean, rookies are an air civ as well. He's just getting picked apart now. Cracks beginning to show. A couple of fighters each side, and he doesn't even need to worry about them too much because it's just anti-air troopers that will come and shoot them. You get a bit of time to respond, really. But with fighters, you've got no time at all when you leave them split up like that. Does manage to lose a couple though. These guys are getting very low as well, but he is getting some worker kills here and there, and he can always just make more fighters, which he has done for waiting at home. And Soup just kind of looks a little bit confused. No command center. Building a turret here over the Nova. I think the Nova's the least important thing as a Gungan. His spots would be his carbon, and then maybe his farms towards this ore. Or here. You could get second carbon or Nova command center here. Would be really nice. So we've got a lot of fighters at home. This guy looks like he's went through the wall. And he's going to get gunned down by those fighters. So 2 mech destroyers rallying across for Soup here. I don't think there's really any path in though. They could just be wrestled away with a bomber. I wonder if these guys can look up. Probably not. But if they did, that would be horrendous. Imagine your air flies over and it's all gone. I wonder if he's going to shoot anyone. Oh, I can hear him. Oh! Another soul claimed by the Spectral Guardian. I mean, what is that range by the... Is it the elevation being misguided? I don't know. How come these mech destroyers are not dead? He's hitting the Nova. It's annoying. You kind of just build a bomber though. He has a second Nova, right? That's it. He's walled out a little bit. Probably better to move though right now. Just move away rather than lose the workers. Look how many workers have died though with these little attacks from Grenooli moving back and forth, stutter stepping. He's trying to go heavy weapons, getting, you know, anti-air mobile. It's just not great. Like I only really play this way in like a team game, just because you know you can't stay in my base forever in a team game. You've got other people to attack, and you know you might get attacked by my teammates or something like that. But in 1v1, literally no lag, and another soul goes down. These guys are just PKing from the. They stole these guys' kill. Stole the kill from the NDs. Grenooli 3 command centers now versus 1. He's trying to build the second one. As I said before, it kind of just looks like a mirror of the last game. Here, keeping control. Does have a little bit of pressure now, at least, though. The MDs, the A-mobile. Grenooli did not take any opportunity to get like a bomber out. Wrestle these away. I think he's trying to. Oh, he's not having a good time with the wildlife. I get. Do you count these guys as wildlife? I don't know. With the neutrals, the Gaia, giving Grenooli a bit of a bad time. These Tyranta decks are very strong as well. I think I watched one kill like 5 workers. Maybe more. And it was like somewhere here on this map, on this side of the map, in that Parappa game, that it killed like 5 to 7 workers before it went down. So he's done a bit. The Wiki's done a bit better because they get extra health per tech level. So it does have a good. Artillery could be good. It barrels down the centre of artillery. It's actually not too bad. Is it happening again? I thought I could hear the Tyrant attacks hitting something, but can't find it. So the air's scouting around here for Grenooli. Looks like he's trying to kill some more workers, but he's pulling it home. He sees these forces outside the front killing off his prefab. He could just re-wall here though. Like with some actual like medium wall. And then this core he's built of just all these farms, command centers, he's gonna have like such a strong economy. There's not a lot of artillery, you could just kill this with mech destroyer. If it reaches certain critical mass, though, it'd be tricky to deal with. But he could go for his own artillery, and then his artillery scales very well. He can get that double range in T4. The prefab is about to go down, and Soup can push forward. And he does have his 3 command centers now, so maybe he can kind of like get a reasonable trade here with Grenooli. Could maybe crawl back in it. There's not a lot of fighters out. And Grenooli doesn't really look like he's set up in the same way as the last game to just go for T4. He doesn't have any of those holocrons or anything like that. And he's going to have to find an answer for this army. Got 4 MDs now. He's only got the 1 range upgrade though. Mounties would completely hard counter it. You know, it's not even a bad thing to take into Mounties as Wookiees, so probably should just slam down some troop centers. He's got nursery anyway. So he's running forward, trying to get into that minimum range here for the artillery, dodge some of the shots. They're actually hitting their own A mobile there, missing. And again. Let's kill 1. But this is a pretty good trade for Grenooli, considering his economy. That'll be the end of all this pressure. What could be worse for him is if Grenooli starts, you know, pressuring him back through this route. He's going to try and build a fortress. Like in the centre, would be a cool spot for it. He is. So will Grenooli let him get this? Oh, it's 2 artillery to hold. So 5 mech stars. They are just shooting the fortress though, they're like on patrol. Strike mech is coming here, but the artillery gonna hit it. Such a strong eco for Grenooli though. So many farms. Maybe double to triple the amount Soup has. Does kill off all the workers though. So Fortress isn't gonna go up. And as we said, he can kill off these artillery when they're in small numbers. He's been trying to hit the strike mech that's just moving around, so when he walks past this point, this will be really difficult to deal with for Soup here. Let's have his double troop centers though. Could just go Mounties. Mounties would be great. He should just be rallying them right now, I think, into this spot, so he can try and keep his anti-air troopers alive. That way fighters can't come and counter them. But no such thing happening. Just artillery and MDs queued up. We got to see T4 out of Grenooli now. Yeah, look at his economy. It's so strong. Have a quick double the worker count, double the resources gathered. So ahead. Soup is going to close this off with some walling. And I wonder what the plan is here for Grenooli when he hits T4. He's building a lot more fighters. Not really got much space though. Oh. This one has lived to tell the tale. Or has he? Nope. No survivors from the Spectral Guardian. That's 4. They can look up! Oh my... delete this map from the pool. Oh. They can look up. Oh, pain. That's probably what I heard earlier then, maybe. No, it was a Tarrant attack. What was the Tarrant attack hitting? It's not that one. Oh. What was it like before? Was he going here? Amazing. He's still massively ahead with this. This is going to be number 7, I think. Down he goes. Oh, this is the rest of the game. This is all I'm going to watch. Number 8. What's happening? Soup has reclaimed his fortress area. He's on the way to T4. I love how bugged that is. Looks like he's going to T5 right now, if you look at the tech thing. Soup is on the way to tech level 5, world first. Fast fighters heading across now for Grenooli. A bit of a cheeky fortress, you're just sneaking around the middle. He's probably too traumatized to even think about the middle anymore. The middle equals lava. Power core, heavy weapons factory in the base. Be worried about just defending this spot, I'm not sure. Some troop centres forwarded here, next to the fortress. As the air sneaks round, he's got shields now. And Soup's still not T4. He's not built any anti-air battery things, which are kind of a lot stronger in T3 than the turrets. Hence the T4 air. And a lot of workers going down here. Something he can ill afford here, being half the worker count of Grenooli. He's going to get his fortress back up. But he's going to feel pretty rough. Like he's got no economy. And someone who's got all the economy. Even with the spectral guard, you're going to handicap. And he's got battery up. Trying to build the second one here. But the DPS of the fast fighters is going to say no to that. He's been killing off the anti-air mobile. The troop centres, what are the troop centres up to? It's going to be troopers, mounties. See, these are the kind of spots where I like to go mounty. Because you don't need too much upgrades, right? But you feel like you need a lot for the repeaters. Soup's army couldn't handle mounties at all. Oh, I've been counting, but we're probably up to like 9 or 10 or something like that. Maybe even higher. For generations, they just walk into the spot and die to the sacrifice to the Guardian. So that the Grenoolian economy may flourish. More CCs. And like no units. It's almost looking like a no rush build from Grenooli at the moment. Building a couple of cannons. Where's the troopers at though? You can see his economy is like really good for just building pure mounties as well. Like you could just build like at this point right now with this layout of eco or distribution of resources, you just build like 30-40 mounties and just run it in the base, kill things. Then you can follow up once you've got all your attack with repeaters. And add in artillery and things like that. A little bit of attack here at the front, but it's really going to cause no impact in terms of the difference between their economies. Down he goes. Air pulled back to defend this. So the cannons out here are going to kill off this fortress for free because there's nothing on the field for Soup here to defend it. Repeaters are on the way, full upgrades now. Took a little bit to get them out, but there they go. So full upgrade repeaters and cannons pushing here on the left hand side. And really just soak up this pressure here at the front. It's too difficult for Soup to get in here and do any sort of substantial damage. And they're rallying across. Many Wookiee trooper. That's 75 health. That huge armor that they've got. And they regenerate as well. His health is going up. 66. 67. Healing all the way. And cannons getting into the spot here, going to hit the command centers. And Soups, there's really not anything. Oh, more fighters being taxed by the Spectral Guardian. And CC goes down. And GG called there from Soup, and that's really going to be the end of it. So I hope you've all enjoyed that. It was certainly an entertaining last game, mainly because of the map, to be honest. Not too sure about that one staying in the map pool. But I hope you've all enjoyed it, and GG well played to both players there. And if you want to see more from the channel, please do consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like on the video, leave a comment. It helps the channel grow and get to more people, and the more people I can funnel into my GBG Discord that you'll see down below, the more people can get on playing online on Foodplay. So if you follow the link down below, and if you want to help the channel out in another way, you'll find a PayPal link as well, where you can help buy me a coffee. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.